Very good morning. Welcome back to the lecture series on analysis of indeterminate structures. Subject code 18CV52. We are in Module 2, lecture number L1, that is first in the Module 2, and presentation is done by Chalagiri. So in the previous class, we have studied about solved many problems, continuous beam as well as the rigid frames with sway, without sway, continuous beam with settlement, without settlement. All of them is done by slope deflection method. That is first model. And the ultimate what finally we found is that find the final end moments along with the midspan moments. Then we draw on the bending moment diagram. And with using the finding the support reactions, we have drawn the shear force diagram too. And the relative elastic curve is also been drawn. So this all we studied in the previous classes. In today's class, we are going to start with a new module, that is moment distribution method. So before starting this, let us know some terminology, some definitions of the points, then deriving the relations between the terminology. So again, this moment distribution method, second model, deals with the analysis of continuous beam as well as analysis of rigid frames. When the unknowns are more, means these unknowns are relatively more, then this method becomes easier than the slope deflection. So for this, the terminology what we have told, let us start with one carryover moment. What is this carryover moment, as we say? So for this, let us consider one of the example, and so it will be easy for you to understand what is the definitions. So let us consider a beam AB with A end as hinged, the far end B is fixed end. Since A is hinged, it is able to rotate in one of the in any directions, but it is restricted against horizontal and vertical moments. While joint B, since it is a fixed end, it is rigid in all forms. That is, it cannot move in horizontal, it cannot move in vertical directions. Even the rotation is also restricted. So the degree of freedom for B joint is 0, while the degree of freedom for A joint is 1. That is, rotations allowed. So how this rotation is allowed? Carryover means what? Suppose if a moment is applied at A joint, which allows the member to rotate, and this rotation in order applied moment will form a angle with respect, when we draw a tangential line with rotation with respect to this rotation, we get angle as theta 1. So this theta A is developed due to the moment applied at M point. In the same directions we see in the other end, far end, B is fixed end, so it is able to resist some of the moment coming over it. So let us assume that M dash is the moment developed in joint B due to the applied moment at A. So this developed moment at M dash at B joint is called as carryover moment, because this joint B is carrying some of the moment due to the development, due to the applied moment at A joint. So carryover means some of the moment is carried by the far end support due to the moment applied at this joint, and the far end should be of a fixed support so that it will carry a moment. Next comes is carryover factors. What is carryover factor? As I told, we can see that carryover factor equals to M dash by M, while M dash is a developed moment at far end joint due to the applied moment at the initial joint. So M dash M is a applied moment. So the ratio of this developed moment by applied moment is called as carryover factors. Then the third terminology comes with the stiffness. Stiffness, as its word indicates, is the stiffness of a beam. So how it depends, on what it depends, that should be known. So stiffness of a beam initially is denoted by k value, and k is equals to m by theta a. M is nothing but a moment applied at that point where a rotation is required, and theta a is the angle made at that joint due to the applied moment at that only. So it can be in term, you can shortly you can define it as a movement required to rotate an end by a unit angle. That we call it as a stiffness. So initially k value, it is in term of m and theta a. M is the one applied moment, that we know, but theta a is in the unknown form. So convert that theta a into the m form. Further we'll do it. So next coming to the distribution factors. What is the distribution factor? How we are going to distribute the loads for the far end? So again we are taking an example here. O is a joint which is connected with many other members like OA, OB, OC, OD. Let A, B, C, D be the far end members which are connected with the O point. So once if you apply a moment at O point, somewhere you are applied a moment at O point, definitely due to this applied moment, as we studied in the first terminology, the moment are developed at the far end, that's A, B, C, D. So let the moment developed at far ends will be M1, M2, M3, M4. If you consider like that, the total moment applied at M at O point will be equal to the summation of the moment developed in the far end, that is M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4. So the distribution factor can be returned as moment at considering only one element of the one member in this. We consider OA as the one member where A is connected, OA member is connected with O and A end is fixed at the far end. So the moment developed at OA is divided by the total moment applied at O point is called a distribution factors. So let us go in further on, we will come to know what exactly it happens. So all that we got is in terms of unknowns only. So let us make only given point is moment here. Over that we can analyze the things. So expression for carryover factors and stiffness. So how the expression for carryover factor, that is m dash m, where m dash is unknown and m is a known point, and stiffness we know that k is equal to m by theta a, where k value want to know, you should know the value of m that is applied, but theta a is in unknown forms. So convert that theta a into the m form, as well as in carryover factor, find the value of m dash, what kind of moment developed due to applied moment. So for this, again let us consider a diagram here. Beam is considered with A end as a roller support or a hinged support, and the far end B is a fixed one, as we did with a span of L here. So let M be the moment applied at A point, and due to this the M dash be the moment developed at B point, far end. And when we draw a tangential line with this respect to this rotation of the member, we can get an angle theta A with respect to the datum line. So as we know, carryover factor is nothing but a ratio of m dash by m, and stiffness of a member is nothing but k is equal to m by theta a. In these two we can, the common thing is the moment applied, but while the developed moment m dash is unknown, as similarly the rotation at a is also unknown. We need to know the value of this developed moment as well as rotation at a should be in the form of applied moment. So let us analyze that. Since we have seen that member in the above m is applied, we get a rotation at a point, and for that let us assume a simply supported beam AB with a load of m is applied at a point, and due to this rotation at a point, definitely there should be moment applied developed at B point, but B is also a roller here, so there is no possibility of moment to be considered at B point. So since I can see in the diagram, due to moment applied there is a rotation developed at A and also B. When we draw a tangential line for that deflection of layer, we can get a theta A1 and theta B1. So let theta A1 be the rotation at A point, similarly theta B1 be the rotation at B point. Let us know value of these two, theta A1 and A2, in terms of moment applied. So for this, let us first draw the bending moment diagram for the given member where two ends are hinged or roller with the moment is applied at a point. If you draw a bending moment diagram, we can see here in the diagram here, there will be a joint at A and B where we get a reactions RA dash and RB dash, and we can see the moment applied at A point and at B it is 0. So moment applied at A point will be M by EI, that is the diagram, and connected with the joint B. So the load applied will be in the form of triangle. This is nothing but a moment applied at A. Once we get this, we need to know the value of theta A and theta B. So theta A1 and theta B1 are the rotation at A and B. They are nothing but the shear force acting at A and B, and shear force are nothing but the reactions at A and B. So let us, by using equation of equilibrium, let us find these unknown reactions so that we can find the rotation at A and B. So from equation of equilibrium, taking summation of vertical force equals to 0, that is RA dash plus RB dash, which are moving upward, is equal to the downward load, that is nothing but area of triangle, half base times height. Half base is L here, so half L by M into EI. So we got M 0.5 M by EI as the downward force. So taking the moment towards summation of moment towards A or B equals to 0, from diagram we can see, taking moment at B equals to 0, the area of triangle into the CJ of triangle towards B, that is acting in downward directions, that is anticlockwise. So it is minus plus of the reaction at A, that is RA dash into the span between AB is L here. So we can write this like this. So the reaction at A point will be RA dash equals to the area of triangle. What we have got is half base times height, that is ML by 2EI, multiplied by the CG towards the B point will be nothing but a 2/3 of the span, that is L here. So 2 gets cancelled with the L and L cancels, left with ML by 3I. So reaction at A will be nothing but a ML by EL. Similarly, when you substitute this value of RA in the above equation of we get RB dash equals to ML by 2I is its area of triangle minus of the reaction at A, that is ML by 3I. So when we substitute this value, we get the reaction at B will be ML by 6EI. So here nothing but RA dash is nothing but theta A1 and RB dash is nothing but theta T2, theta B1. So these two we got by having a rotation at A point. Similarly, we consider another simply supported beam with developed moment at B point is applied as M dash, and we can see the deflection of the member, that is rotation at A and B in this form, that is in hogging shape. So let theta A2 be the rotation at A point and theta B2 be the rotation at B point. This is due to the moment applied at B point, that is M dash. So for this, again using the same previous method, that is draw the bending moment diagram for the above figure. So from this we can know that let R dash be the reaction at A and R dash B be the reaction at B, and we know that due to the applied moment M dash at B point, we can get M dash by EI as the bending moment diagram. So to know the value of the rotation at A and B, that is theta A2 and theta B2, we need to find the support reaction at these 2 points. There is nothing but R dash A by R dash B. R dash A is equals to theta A2 and R dash B equals to theta B2. So again using the equation of equilibrium, we know that the vertical forces are RA dash and RB dash equals to the downward movement, that is area of triangle, half base times the height. The base is L here, height is M dash by EI. Substituting this value, we get reaction at A equals to area of triangle into CG towards the B point divided by the total span between AB. So area of triangle is nothing but a half base times height, that is half L into M dash by EI, into CG towards B point will be 1/3 of the span of that member, that is 1/3 of L divided by whole L. So L get cancelled, left with M dash L by 6 EI will be the reaction at A point, that is nothing but a theta A2 value. Similarly, substituting this value in the above equations, we get RB dash equals to M dash L by 2 EI minus M dash L by 6 EI. So M dash is common here, taking M dash L by 2EI as a common, that will be 4 minus 1, taking LCM you get 3 by 6, Therefore, the reaction at B will be m dash L by 3 EI. So once you know that m dash by 3 is a reaction at B, that is nothing but a theta B2. So from this above figure, it is clearly that the developed moment at m dash B is nothing but due to the moment applied at A point. So from figure it is clear that the rotation at the first one B1, theta B1 will be equals to the rotation due to the moment developed at B, that is theta B2. So theta B1 equals to theta B2. Theta B1 is nothing but ml by 6 EI, while theta B2 is nothing but m dash by L into 3 EI. So here from this celebrating we get m dash m equals to L and L get cancels, EI get cancels, left with 3 by 6. So m dash by m equals to 1 by 2. So this clearly indication that the carryover factor for m dash m by is equal to half is nothing but the developed moment m dash equals to the half of the applied moment, or we can say in term that the applied moment equals to the half of the 2 times the developed moment. So whenever a moment is applied at A point, any of about 10 kilonewtons, half of that 5 kilonewton will be developed at B point. This is the concept what we have known from the above figure. Again from the above figures only, let us know the rotation at A1, that we want to know the value of theta A1. But theta A1 is nothing but a theta A2 minus theta A1 minus theta A2. Theta A1 is nothing but a rotation applied due to the applied moment at A, and A2 is nothing but a rotation we got due to the developed moment at B point. So A1 minus A2, substituting the left theta A1 and A2, we get theta A equals to ml by 3i minus of m dash by L into 6ei. But we know that the above expressions we got that m dash, that is developed moment, equals to half of the applied moment, that is m by 2. So substituting value of m dash equals to m by 2 in these equations, we get theta A equals to ml by 3i minus of m by L into 2 times 6 by EI, that is 12 EI. So taking LCM, finally we get rotation as theta A equals to ml by 4 EI. So the rotation theta we got at A point will be in term of moment, that is m into L by 4 EI. Then the stiffness of member becomes m by theta A. Substituting left theta A equals to ml by 4 EI. We get m and m get cancels, left with L by 4 EI. So taking 4 EI by into upward side, we can write stiffness of a member will be equals to 4 EI by L. That indicates the stiffness of member mainly depends upon the following rigidity of the member as well as Young's modulus divided by the total length. As the length changes or any rigidity changes, the stiffness of member also changes. So further let us know the expression for distribution factors. As I told, there will be due to applied moment at one joint, the member connecting to that joint for the further end we get a developed moment. One equation we have seen in the above that the developed moment will be nothing but half of the applied moment at the previous joint. So let us consider a member here. Again from diagram we can see O is a point where it is connected with the 4 members OA, OB, OC and OD. And the far ends are A, B, C, D are fixed end here, and the distance of all these are varying one by one. So let M be the applied moment at O point, due to which the moment developed at other ends, far ends are M1, M2, M3 and M4. So these are the developed moment at far ends due to the applied moment at center point. And from this above diagram we can clearly conclude that the M equals to M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4, that is applied moment equals to the developed moment at far end of the member connected with this joint. So let the K1, K2, K3 and K4 be the stiffness of the individual member connected with this member, and let L1 and L2, L3, L4 be the length of each members connected with the OA, OB, OC and OD. So from diagram, the figure, it is clear that theta equals to m by Ka, we know that. So theta equals to m dash by K1 plus m2 by M2, M2 by K2, M3 by K3 and M4 by K4. Since we know that theta equals to all these are individual developed moment, that is M1 plus M2 plus M3 by 4 plus M4 divided by the K1, K2, K3, K4. So from this we can get that theta equals to total moment, that is M, divided by summation of the stiffness joining at all the point, that is summation of Ki. But we know that the individual moment developed at one point will be equals to the stiffness of that member into the rotation developed by that point, that is mi equals to Ki by theta. Substituting value of theta here, m by summation of Ki, we get distribution factor equals to mi by m, where mi equals to capital M by summation of Ki. So m get cancelled, left with Ki by summation of Ki. This indicates that the distribution factor for an individual member, when we consider, that will be equal to the stiffness of that member divided by the stiffness of the members connected with that joint. So distribution factor equals to Ki by summation of Ki. This is how in the today's class we have studied the terminology one by one. We can see that all points are studied clearly, and coming with the last Booms technology, we can see that level 1 is remembering, that is not we have doing here. Level 2 it is understanding. Here we have some terminologies understood and how they are interrelated, and we are going to apply in the above problems so that analyzing will be done clearly in the coming problems. So in this model we are going to study with the level 2 to level 4. So it is very easy to remember the concept clearly. Before going to further class, go through the notes and revise the things. If any doubts, call me.